So as you guys have probably already read by the title, in today's video guys, I'll be going through the top suggestions in the War Tycoon Discord server of the most wanted updates that you all want to see in War Tycoon. And since last time I gave you guys a like goal of hitting 500 likes in the video, let's make it harder today since you guys really do love this series. Let's smash 600 likes, and I really do appreciate the support you guys been showing for this series. So today is part 6, and if you'd like to see part 7, you know what to do. Alrighty, so picking up where we left off last time, we have been talking about the modern Russia's Su-35 and etc. And in this one, we are going to be going through some more changes. So I just like to summarize this to you guys. People are basically complaining about the A-10 still being absolutely terrible and pretty much not doing a lot of damage to tanks whatsoever, even though it is made to be an anti-tank vehicle. Yep, I completely agree with this. I don't know why the A-10 Warthog is as bad as it is, but really, what can we do? We just gotta hope that they're gonna be changing it as time goes on. Alrighty, so the next suggestion over here is Raider lock-on similar to what War Thunder has, so it'll be easier for starters to use AA vehicles. I completely agree with this. However, I feel like the only downside of this anti-air system Raider being added to the game is that the pros will be able to abuse it in such a sense that pretty much if you do get into pro servers, everybody would just be spamming this and no one would really have a chance in the air because people would know how to use this very well. But again, for starters, it's going to be good, but I don't know how it's going to be going for the meta side of the game. However, I still like this suggestion, and if they add this, I would totally not mind. Alrighty, so the next suggestion over here is add drones like this one. Also, add the T-34 heavy tank and the E-10. Yeah, there's so many vehicles that are like very famous that people want added, and I don't know why they add the stuff like the likes of the Raider X, even though almost nobody has been suggesting it. I feel a little weird about this, but we're just gonna have to see in the future. Anyway, the next suggestion we have here is going to be adding a Humvee with a turret, but don't get rid of the speedy Humvee. We kind of already have a Humvee with a turret, which is pretty much the JOTV as we all know it. I used to be the tactical JOTV, so I feel like this Humvee that we have right now, I mean, having a turret at the back and us even being able to control it, I feel like we don't really play with people that much, so just having a chance to also control it on our own, just like with the helicopters, would also be incredibly cool. Once again, add the F-22 Raptor, once again one of the more famous planes that are currently coming out and people are talking about. I really do love these planes, but I feel like we currently have just a lot of planes, so personally I feel like we should be doing something different and just planes every single update. Okay, so next suggestion is remodel the F-35 to look like an F-35. Yeah, I completely agree. I'm gonna be fully honest, but the overall design of the F-35 in War Tycoon is just so incredibly awkward, man. Anyway, wings are, nobody really knows what to say. The landing gear doors are incorrect and don't line up with the fuselage when closed. Air intakes are from Wish and the fuselage is wrong. Yeah, I completely agree with this. I feel like the overall F-35 design just feels so incredibly dry, and I feel like when they were adding the F-35 into the game, I feel like they were kind of working on it incredibly fast to get it out as fast as possible, since they did need some kind of Game Pass plane. Since the plane update just came out, they wanted to be adding a Game Pass as well. So that's just my personal idea on it, but I really do like this idea, and please do fix the F-35. It does definitely deserve a remodel. Okay, so next over here is make the minimap transform into a big map with an arrow on it saying where you are, so the newer players don't get lost on their way to a friend, or when they need to return home and can't see the home symbol, the small green house. Yeah, I completely agree with this. Once again, I feel like the map that we currently have in War Tycoon feels just a little bit off, and we don't really get enough detail. Like, this map is practically useless, I'll be honest. I mean, I guess it does show you guys the sides on where you are on the east, north, and etc. But other than this, it just doesn't really get the job done, and having a bigger map would definitely be good for the newer players, because the newer players also quit or just don't like to play the game for the fact that they don't really know where to get around the map. I even had comments under my videos saying that people don't know how to find the pumpkins right now for my video because they don't know the map. Yeah, this map change would definitely get a job done. Okay, so next up over here is remove the tank traps near the city, or at least move them when driving out of the tunnel, especially with the mounts. You can get stuck way too often. Yeah, I completely agree with this. I don't know why we cannot really use the tanks instead of mid, or why it's very unintentional from the devs for us to actually use the tanks in the mid. Like, it doesn't really make a difference. There's so many hiding spots where players could just counter tanks on the ground. They just gotta be a little smart with it. Other than this, the tanks can really not get through the city as well, so just adding these traps just makes it even worse. Next up over here is remodeling the silo. Yeah, in the recent update they have added a brand new nuke, which is really cool, I gotta say, but also remodeling the silo with this would also be really cool. Definitely, I appreciate that idea. So next over here is add a flagpole in the base where you can choose the flag of any country, maybe even more others like the EU flag or the NATO flag, for example, of your faction's emblems as a flag. Yeah, I don't know why they haven't added this. I feel like one reason why they might have not added this because there will be some kind of issues with Roblox allowing it into the game-ish. I don't really know how the Roblox law works and how they actually deal with this kind of stuff, but just having a lot more military feel to the game would definitely be good once again. I really do hope that they will be adding something like this in the map update. Alrighty, so next up, replace the Boxer CRV Game Pass with the Type 625E, because now the Lavad is better than the Boxer. How is that possible when the Boxer is a Game Pass vehicle? So I prefer to replace it with the Type 625E. Yeah, so the speed will be 2, the firepower will be free, and the health will be free, and there is a photo of it. Yeah, it does have so many more capabilities of actually being able to deal with more versatile stuff. As good as the Boxer is, as of now, after the recent buff, the Boxer is actually pretty good, if I'll be completely honest, but after the Lavad also got buffed, it's slightly better than the Boxer in my personal opinion, but the Boxer, it's just not worth its Robux still, despite how good it is. So I feel like just having something a lot more unique as a Game Pass that adds a lot more features to the game, I would definitely want to see something like this. Alrighty, so next suggestion over here is give us the power box so we can save electricity for some people. I don't think that's the main reason why the power box should be back, but overall I really did love the idea of the power box and just being able to also cut electricity from people's bases. It gave us a little bit more incentive to actually raid bases, because the bases were pretty much left with nothing after they were destroyed. So please, developers, do update ways of raiding and just add the power box back. We all wanted it and we want it back. Alrighty, so once again we have ourselves a bunch more suggestions of the more famous vehicles in that people want to have added. One of them being this tank, once again going to be one of those famous helicopters, famous plane, and etc. This is the AH-1Z Viper, I believe, and I have already added this to the game. And yes, I am slightly late with this video because these suggestions are already like 2 months old. I'm kind of late on it, but yeah, we do want to see these being added to the game, definitely. Okay, so next up over here we have ourselves, please rework the cockpit of the Mi-24 Hind. It takes so much time and effort to get this helicopter, and it's just a bit disappointing to see this cockpit. It doesn't need to be exact like War Thunder. I would just want a bit more detail, and again, it is a repost. Yeah, I feel like the Mi-24 Hind just has a very old design from when War Tycoon first came out, because Mi-24 Hind was one of the first game passes in the game, so that's why I guess the designs stay old. And since they have added a brand new Mi-28 Havoc, which is just a little bit better designed than the Mi-24, that's kind of why I believe this is staying this way. But just remodeling a few of the older vehicles would definitely be really cool as well, just to add more modernity, I guess that's the word, to the game. Okay, so next up we have ourselves give medals per rebirth. By this, doing rebirths makes sense. Yeah, the rebirths after rebirth 10 just doesn't make any sense, and the only people who are rebirthing are kind of tryharding to get to level freaking rebirth 69 just for the weapon and for a freaking flex. Yeah, rebirthing once again doesn't stand any meaning to this game as of now. Okay, so next over here we have ourselves add a missile defense system for our base that's controllable from the bunker that can be used to deploy smaller types of missiles at planes and helis that show up in our radar. Once again, I completely agree with this, and I believe this should also be destructible, but as of now, once again, no defense systems, and I hope that they're going to be making some kind of changes like this once the new map comes out. Really want to see War Tycoon devs just as much as you want to add it. Okay, so next over here is change the blue strip on the Euro missiles. Blue strips on missiles mean it's like a decoy training missile. Yeah, I feel like the missiles that we currently have in the game are kind of underdeveloped in terms of their design. I don't know if they are made to be looking not as good just because people would be lagging if it was high quality, or if the developers are kind of trying to speedrun a few updates. I believe that some of these things should be changed and make these missiles also look better, because there's a lot of missiles in the game that do also feel like they're decoys. Okay, so next over here is add free cam by pressing Alt for planes. Yeah, free cam will be really cool. Okay, so next over here is when tanks move, have a dust form like this. Once again, once the new map does come out, I really do hope to be having some kind of redesigns of the dust. I mean, once again, there are just small quality of life changes, but they do hold a pretty big meaning for the game. Okay, so once again, we have ourselves siren warning of the atomic threat and add a nuclear mushroom. Okay, so the nuclear mushroom we already have in the game as of the newer nuke that was just added, but we also have ourselves a warning system when the whole map basically gets warned after the map gets nuked. So I would like to also see this feature being added for bases, so we also know when our base is getting nuked. So we have somewhat enough time to actually escape the base. Okay, so next over here is add autopilot to V22 Osprey so it stays still in the air and you can use your gun if you have any allies with you. I have heard that the V22 Osprey is starting to become incredibly overpowered, by the way, so I feel like just adding in a freaking AI system for an autopilot would not work that well. However, for the more modern jets or even modern helicopters and etc. that are maybe not as good, I feel like it will be good to also add a much more AI autopilot systems, because they have already worked on something like AI turrets on the B-29, so why don't they start adding more AI content? It doesn't always have to be content such as actual threats attacking your base like freaking soldiers that are AI, but rather have some kind of AI systems working under their vehicles. Anyway guys, that is all I have for you all in today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below on which top suggestion you would like to see added in this game. Personally, I am quite late and it's already around November now, and I still am a little bit behind, around 2 months behind I believe that is, so for me to cover the whole top suggestion series, I think I'm gonna be having to do at least 5 more episodes to get all these months done. Anyway guys, let me know what you want to see and make sure to smash 600 likes if you'd like to see a part 7.